You can't weaponize the Department of Justice. How you doing today? Shadow Logic here. All right, we're going to read this letter from Rod Rosenstein to President Trump resigning. The Washington Post bizarre letter. It's basically a letter. It's got two components. One is a commercial for the FBI. The other thing is a thank you to President Trump. Of course, they didn't like that. He was actually very nice to President Trump. But he was like, hey, FBI's great. The most important thing, liberty and justice for all. The FBI really is a great organization. They save us from a lot of stuff that you will never even know about. Dear Mr. President, the Department of Justice made rapid progress in achieving the administration's law enforcement priorities. By consulting stakeholders, implementing constructive policies, reducing bureaucracy, and using results-driven management, we maximize the public benefit of our $28 billion budget. I commend our 115,000 employees for their accomplishments and their devotion to duty. As Thomas Paine wrote, those who expect to reap the blessings of freedom must undergo the fatigues of supporting it. It's always nice to bring in Thomas Paine. Why not? Especially in your resignation letter that you know is going to be published in the media. The median tenure of a deputy attorney general is 16 months, and few serve longer than 2 years. Okay, well, that's a good explanation. He doesn't want to look bad. That's okay. As I submit my resignation effective on May 11th, I am grateful to you for the opportunity to serve, for the courtesy and humor you often display in our personal conversations, and for the goals you set in your inaugural address. Wow, he's mentioning the inaugural address. Patriotism, unity, safety, education, and prosperity, because a nation exists to serve its citizens. The Department of Justice pursues those goals while operating in accordance with the rule of law. The rule of law is the foundation of America. It secures our freedom, allows our citizens to flourish, and enables our nation to serve as a model of liberty and justice for all. President Trump, he deserves justice too. At the Department of Justice, we stand watch over what Attorney General Robert Jackson called the inner ramparts of our society, the Constitution, its guarantees, our freedoms, and the supremacy of law. As a result, the department bears a special responsibility to avoid partisanship. You think? Political considerations may influence policy choices, but neutral principles must drive decisions about individual cases. In 1940, Jackson explained that government lawyers must at times risk ourselves and our records to defend our legal processes from discredit and to maintain a dispassionate, disinterested, and impartial enforcement of the law. Who cares? Facing corrosive skepticism and cynicism concerning the administration of justice, in 1975, Edward Levi urged us to make clear by word and deed that our law is not an instrument of partisan purpose. You can't weaponize the Department of Justice, and is not to be used in ways which are careless of the higher values within us all. In 2001, John Ashcroft called for a professional Justice Department free from politics, uncompromisingly fair, defined by integrity, and dedicated to upholding the rule of law. We enforce the law without fear or favor because credible evidence is not partisan and truth is not determined by opinion polls. We ignore fleeting distractions and focus our attention on the things that matter because a republic that endures is not governed by the news cycle. Then why is the Mueller report often referencing the crap that's in the media? The Mueller report references many, many times the fake news that's in the media. So, ruh-roh. Final line. We keep the faith, we follow the rules, and we always put America first. Sincerely, Rod J. Rosenstein. Nice thing to Trump. Very nice commercial for the FBI. Okay. On November 21st, 2019, the Honorable Michael R. Pompeo. This letter is to him, Secretary of State. Dear Secretary Pompeo, it is my understanding that on February 4th, 2016, the Ukrainian Prosecutor General's office, under the direction of Prosecutor General Viktor Shokin, announced the seizure of property from Ukrainian natural gas company Burisma Holdings founder Mykola Zlochevsky. The seizure occurred pursuant to a raid on Mr. Zlochevsky's home on February 2nd, 2016. It is also my understanding that on February 4th, 2016, Hunter Biden began following then Deputy Secretary of State Tony Blinken, a longtime advisor to Vice President Joe Biden, on Twitter, indicating that the two may have initiated conversations regarding Prosecutor General Shokin's investigation into Burisma. At that time, Hunter Biden was serving as a board member for Burisma. Now, you'd think that Hunter Biden would have quit. In addition, according to records obtained by media sources, on February 11th, 18th, and 19th of 2016, Vice President Biden held a series of phone calls with Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko regarding previous demands to dismiss Prosecutor General Shokin for alleged corruption. Another phone call between the two took place on March 22nd, 2016, just 7 days before Prosecutor General Shokin was removed from office on March 29th, 2016. To assist in answering questions regarding allegations that Vice President Biden played a role in the termination of Prosecutor General Shokin in an effort to end the investigation of the company employing his son, Hunter Biden, I request the following. Number 1, all documents and communications, including call transcripts or summaries related to the Vice President's phone calls with President Poroshenko on February 11th, 18th, and 19th, and March 22nd of 2016, especially with respect to whether Vice President Biden mentioned the Prosecutor General's investigation into Burisma, where his son was making a lot of money. Number 2, all documents and communications between the Vice President and his office and President Poroshenko and his office after the raid on Mr. Zlochevsky's home on February 2nd, 2016, until the dismissal of the Prosecutor General on March 29th, 2016. Number 3, all documents and communications related to a meeting between Devon Archer, a business partner of Hunter Biden, and Secretary of State John Kerry on March 2nd, 2016. Thank you for your prompt attention to my request. Sincerely, Lindsey O. Graham, Chairman.